Well, Sam, that was very interesting and educational, the fact that you started as a do-it-yourselfer and ended up with a custom installation market. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, the fact that every projector has to be set properly and installed properly?
Yes. I think one of the reasons why I have such a great, strong emphasis on training, and why we actually offer the ISF training at the Runco training as part of the training. And Runco dealers, it's mandatory that they get training. It wasn't just because we want to get the dealers to come to the plant. All of us want that. We always, any of us manufacturers would love to have our dealers come to the factory. But the real reason was, when I was doing installations years ago, and as I mentioned, I have over 700 installations in the field that I was involved with. One of the things that came about after years is it was always said that Runco projectors looked better than any of the projectors of that particular period of time. And there was a reason for it. I used to sell maintenance contracts whenever I would sell a projector. But if the person, the sports bar, or whoever it was that I sold it to, did not buy the maintenance contract, I still, when I passed through that particular town in Northern California, I stopped and I would adjust the projector and keep them tweaked. In those days, those 3-tube projectors, especially the first ones, they had a tendency to drift in a number of different things: convergence, focus, everything. And the tubes would wear, of course, because they were getting hit pretty hard, 30 to 32,000 volts, and trying to run them so that they would be very bright. So they were getting hit very hard. So they had to be continuously tweaked. And I would stop and tweak them even if I didn't get paid, because I believe that one of two things from my experience: a good, well installed, maintained, and set up projector may, and I say may, sell another projector. One that is not working correctly only instilled a belief in the person that these things still don't work, and they just didn't look very good. All they had to do was drift off a half a line, or some of them even went 1, 2, 3 lines, and it looked terrible. The color things, I'm sure many of you saw these things when the color was shifted on them. So I maintained those things, and by maintaining them, they sold more and more projectors. Today, it's kind of a belief in the industry that since we went to single or 3-chip projectors, that many of the projectors out there are plug and play. Nothing could be further from the truth. These things take a lot of work to be set up correctly, and our projectors especially are made to be able to do all of the setup characteristics that are demanded of us by the Image Science Foundation. We actually build the projectors to be able to do the settings that are required by ISF, which makes it even that much more difficult for someone to do. And there's no way that a trained installer can set these up without two things. Number one, learning the procedures of a Runco projector by coming to our training, and two, by knowing the procedures of an ISF calibrator. They need both of that in order to be able to do this. That's why if you look at every Runco box, there's a logo on it that says that it shows that an installer is necessary to be able to set these things up. So we don't sell to do-it-yourselfers, and there's plenty of other companies that are out there that sells to the do-it-yourselfer. They don't need us. On the other hand, I think that because of that, it's been thought about that Runco does not want the do-it-yourselfer's business. That's not true. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. So I certainly, it's one of the reasons why I support the home theater cruise so much, because all the people that are on this cruise are also do-it-yourselfers, or mostly do-it-yourselfers, and I want to support that, because these people could be the people that are doing the things that I'm doing 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, even though they don't see themselves in that role. Because I never saw myself doing this. I never knew that I was going to be doing this for a living. This kind of happened. I somehow became the expert in this business. One day I woke up and people were calling me the expert. I didn't want that title, but I'm happy I got it. It wasn't something I worked towards, and that's why I used the word evolved, because that's how it happened. Now, what's happened is it's structured. It's very structured, and that is by choice. That's not by accident. Our business is structured. The way we sell to dealers is structured. The distribution and how it gets into the customer's house to protect the customer. To make sure that they're always getting the best image available and get what they paid for. Runco projectors sell for more money than other projectors. Runco display devices, our LCDs, our plasmas sell for more money than others. But when you look at it for a person who shouldn't be doing it themselves, then they get into the mess of doing it themselves, and then they got to get somebody to dig them out and clean it up. It becomes way more expensive than a Runco projector, when they should have bought our projector in the first place and went with a Runco dealer at that time. Now, does that mean that everybody should do it? No. I think that if everybody should get somebody to install it themselves, I would have never been in business, because I was one of those guys. I was a do-it-yourselfer. I still do it myself, sometimes too often. But there are things that I don't do anymore. Like, I don't program my Palm Pilot. I used to love doing that stuff. Now I got people that do it. I have to do that. And my customer wants this to be done for them by a professional. He wants it set up by a professional. And the Runco dealers are professionals.
Okay, so in a way it's a package. You're not just buying a projector or a display device. You're buying the installation as a package.
Yes, matter of fact, if you find tonight, we'll look for a Runco box, because I'd like to show you the logo that says installer dependent.
Okay.
Installer dependent. Runco projectors are installer dependent, and it's right on the box to show. We won't even warranty the projector if it's sold sideways. If somehow a projector gets sold sideways into someone's home, it's not covered by warranty. It needs to have the Runco dealer, the Runco installer, install the projector.
Okay, so I guess that will make the third part of your interview. So see you later, Sam.
Thank you.